Hello all, do come in. We're so glad you've joined us for another edition of the Book Nerd Diaries. Life can be rough sometimes, so please pull up a chair here in the library and relax for a while as we dive deep into the latest books we've crossed off our endless to-read list. Please be warned that spoilers lie ahead and some content might not be suitable for all listeners. So please go check out the show notes for content warnings regarding today's book and discussion before moving ahead with the episode. Ready? Then let's get our book nerd on. There are few experiences in life more absolutely crushing than feeling like you don't fit in. Like no matter how much you bend and shape yourself into the kind of person you think society wants you to be, it will never be enough. We all desperately crave approval from the people around us, almost as much as we do food and drink, but we end up ultimately starving ourselves in the process. We're only given our one life, and it's cruel to have so much of that life wasted in trying to be someone you're not. When you look in the mirror, you should see yourself reflected back, and not a blurry composite of others' expectations of you. You, right now, with all your flaws and many virtues, are enough. And anyone who truly loves you will see that too. In our book today, This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi, we follow the story of someone who's been made to feel like they are absolutely nothing because of her station in life. She has to endure all forms of ill treatment at the hands of those in high society, as well as the people she works for, to a point that would crush the spirit of most. Due to her incredible strength of will and resilience, she manages to navigate her nearly impossible situation and embrace her destiny, to become so much more than she'd believed she could be. As our story opens, a young woman named Alice is working late into the night. As a talented seamstress, she has been commissioned to create a dress for the daughter of a lord. She has been doing such work as a secondary income, on top of the small paycheck she already earns from her current work. Right now, she is employed on a probationary basis, as part of the housekeeping staff for the Duchess Jamila of Fetris. Because she is a djinn, a people who are highly discriminated against, Alice has found it almost impossible to find or keep a job anywhere. She knows that djinn like her aren't typically allowed such proximity to nobility, and so she knows that one single wrong move could find her back out on the street again, as she had so many other times before. Wanting to get some rest before her cleaning duties begin, she puts down the dress she's been sewing and heads up to the redecorated closet that serves as her bedroom. She then makes her way to bed and falls asleep to find herself tormented by cryptic messages from the devil, who has followed her every single day of her life. In this particular vision, a man with chiseled features reaches out for her and touches his fingers to her lips. The devil, named Iblis, was long ago cast out of heaven for his arrogance. When he fell to earth, it caused a wave of destruction everywhere. As a result, the humans, also known as clay, took over the planet, and the jinn were either destroyed or forced to hide underground. After Alice wakes from her fitful sleep the next morning, she heads out to deliver her commissioned dress. Along the way, she is mugged by a young boy who she knows must be starving. Not wanting this child's death on her hands, she uses her considerable self-defense skills to dispatch him and quietly invites him to seek her out, should he ever need a meal. As she leaves him, however, she finds a figure in a black cloak watching her. This black-cloaked figure, who is in truth a prince named Kamran, goes over to the boy who had mugged her and confronts him for his actions. He had been watching Alice on suspicion that she is a spy, and wants to question the boy about her. The boy, terrified of being handed over to the magistrates, attempts suicide. Kamran, horrified by what just happened, immediately shouts for help. Back at the palace, Kamran finds himself in proverbial hot water for his troubles. He is first told off by his longtime advisor, Hassan, for putting himself in harm's way. He is then summoned to the throne room of his grandfather, the king, to receive further judgment. Back in the city, Alice drops off the dress, but is dismayed to find that she is only paid half of what she's owed for it. She tries to speak up for herself, but only finds the door slammed in her face for good measure. Back at the mansion, she returns to her housekeeping duties, only to find herself in deep trouble for watching the other servants eat. Being on a probational term, she is not supposed to mingle with the other staff, and if she's ever caught again, she will be immediately tossed out. At the palace, Kamran now joins his mother, Firozeh, in the throne room. There, his grandfather, King Zal, informs Kamran that his mercy on the young mugger has thrown doubt on his ability to rule one day among the noble class. As penance, the prince must throw a grand ball to get back in the good graces of the upper crust. Being a soldier, the thought of having to dress up and hobnob with the elite is already far less than ideal for him. What makes things even worse is that King Zal adds a special caveat to the arrangement. From amongst the noble ladies who will be attending the ball, Kamran must choose a wife to ensure that the future of their kingdom of Ardunia may endure. Kamran had long known that he would be expected to marry and provide an heir. It comes with being a part of the royal family. The thought of having his fate forever tied to a total stranger, whom he does not love, is no less repellent to him, and he wants no part of it. What makes things even more complicated is his growing fascination with the mysterious girl he'd seen in the market. She'd worn the uniform of a servant, yet she carried herself as a noble. What's more, she'd spoken to the boy in his native language, in a language that she could not have known if she were not educated. Who is this girl, then, and why can't he get her out of his head? It looks like we've got to step away here for just a moment, dearest book nerds, but worry not. We'll be right back with you after this very quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Are you an author, fellow podcaster, or small business owner looking to spread the word about your product or service? Then let us help you. We offer a number of affordable monthly advertising packages in various price ranges. So if you'd like to hear your ad here in future episodes, please head on over to our page at ko-fi.com/bndpod and click on the shop tab to see what works best for you. Again, that's ko-fi.com/bndpod. Then click on the shop tab. We can't wait to work with you.
What immediately struck me about the book This Woven Kingdom, before anything else, is how absolutely vibrant and alive it is. From the palace to the bustling markets of the city, the world is a constant blur of activity as people go about their lives. If you were to zoom out from our main characters for a moment, you could probably hear any number of equally fascinating stories from the everyday people just walking by on the street, trying their best to survive like everyone else. This story deals largely with the division of class, and I love how starkly the different echelons of society respond to the richness of the world they live in. For those of little means, every single bite of food or bolt of colorful fabric is an absolute wonder to be savored for all it's worth. For those of nobility who live in constant decadence, all of these everyday blessings are completely lost to them. Instead, they focus on power and what steps they can take to gain more of it. You can see this division most starkly in the characters of Alice and Kamran. Between two jobs, Alice works herself tirelessly for every single penny she has, in hopes of making a better life for herself. In contrast, Kamran's never wanted for anything in his entire life, but he's never found contentment in any of the grandeur or posturing of the life he was brought up in. He'd give it all away in a heartbeat if he could simply be himself. I think that this is ultimately What draws these two characters so magnetically to each other? Alice and her fellow Jinn are constantly treated as second-class citizens, but she refuses to let those who oppress her win. Kamran is a warrior and leader of his people, bound by duty, yet all he wants is to be free to follow his heart. It's all very fairy tale, and a truly wonderful ride from start to finish. I'll reiterate here that some content in this book might not be for everyone, so please check out the show notes for content warnings before reading. In the end, this book would be a perfect fit for those who love a good Cinderella story. Alice is a hard-working, nose-to-the-grindstone protagonist who refuses to let her circumstances get in the way of her goals. By being herself, she finds herself catching the eye of a prince and falling for him in return. It's rather like the love stories found in previous episode subjects like 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lynn or Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So if you enjoyed those books, then this one might be for you. With that, dear fellow book nerds, we finally made it to the end of our latest dive into the world of literature. The library is always a wonderful place to be, and it's even better when you all stop by. Before we bid you a fond farewell for now, we would just like to give out some very special thank yous. Firstly, thank you so much to Julie, our amazing sister Katie, and brand new member Anthony for being our incredible Ride or Die subscribers over at patreon.com/bndpod. This podcast is one of the main sources of income for us, so your generous monthly contributions help us out more than you could possibly know. If you too would like to get perks like early ad-free episodes, 2 exclusive episodes a month, notes, scripts, our monthly newsletter, and access to our private Discord server, we hope you'll join them. We're so grateful as well to anyone who has taken the time to share our episodes on social media, left us a review via Apple Podcasts or their app of choice, or told the people in their lives about us. These are the best free ways to help bring more people to the library, and independent operations like ours depend on word of mouth to grow, so every bit truly helps. Next week, Friday, May 6th, a new bonus episode is on the way for our wonderful $5 and up subscribers on Patreon, and we'll see you right back here in 2 weeks for another edition of the Book Nerd Diaries. Catch you then! The Book Nerd Diaries is written, edited, researched, and hosted by me, Amber Wilchin. Thank you so much to the wonderful astrofreq from Pixabay for the use of our new theme song, The Grand Entrance. All other music and sound effects you hear during this episode are also provided by the good folks of Pixabay, so please check out the show notes for full credits. If you'd like to connect with us online, please follow us on Instagram or Twitter at BNDpod, on Facebook at Book Nerd Diaries, or via our website at bndpod.wordpress.com. If you have any comments, questions, or ideas for future episodes to send my way, please feel free to drop us an email anytime at bndpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, everyone, please be good to yourselves, because the world needs you. And don't forget to support your local library.